Have you ever dreamed of doing Umrah on your own schedule? A journey that's personal, flexible, and really spiritually deep, without having to stick to a group package? Well, guess what? It's easier now than it has ever been. So let's dive in and walk through exactly how you can plan your very own DIY Umrah.
But before we get into any of the logistics, let's just ground ourselves in why we're doing this. This beautiful hadith really sets the tone. It's a powerful reminder of the incredible reward waiting for us. Umrah is like a spiritual reset button. It wipes away the sins between one Umrah and the next. It's a journey where the ultimate reward is nothing less than paradise itself.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover 5 key stages. We'll start with the most important part, getting your heart and mind ready before we get into any of the practical planning. Then we'll walk through the sacred rituals step by step, share some insider tips for the holy cities, and wrap up with some really crucial advice to make sure your trip is as amazing as possible.
Okay, first things first, the spiritual calling. You gotta remember, this isn't just a vacation, it's an invitation from Allah. And just like any huge, important meeting, the prep work starts way before you even think about packing. It all begins in your heart and in your mind. And this is so important. Your Umrah starts right now. Not at the airport, not at the miqat. It starts with a sincere intention, the niyyah. That is the absolute foundation of everything. From there, it's about cleaning your slate, repenting, asking for forgiveness from people you might have wronged, and clearing any debts you have. This purifies the whole journey from the very beginning. And of course, taking the time to learn the rituals beforehand is a game changer. It lets you perform them with real understanding and confidence.
All right, with our spiritual bags packed, let's get into the nitty-gritty of planning. Now, this is the part that might seem a little overwhelming, but you're about to see how surprisingly straightforward it's become to turn that beautiful intention into an actual trip.
The visa process is honestly incredibly simple now. Thanks to the new tourist e-visa, which is totally valid for Umrah, you can do the whole thing online. You just hop on the official portal, fill out your application, and pay the fee, which super conveniently already includes your mandatory health insurance. I'm not kidding. A lot of people get their approved e-visa emailed to them in less than an hour. It's that quick.
So, you've landed in Jeddah. Now what? You've got some great options to get to Makkah. If you're all about speed and efficiency, the Haramain high-speed rail is amazing. You'll be in Makkah in under an hour. From that door-to-door convenience, grabbing a taxi or using a rideshare app like Careem is perfect. And hey, if you're on a tight budget, the Saptico bus is a solid, super affordable choice.
Now let's talk packing. You want to be smart about this. Of course, the ihram for men is a must. For everybody, comfortable walking shoes are absolutely non-negotiable. Trust me, your feet will thank you. A small backpack is clutch for carrying your stuff during the rituals. And remember, non-perfumed toiletries only, since scents are off-limits when you're in the state of ihram. Oh, and here's a personal tip. Bring a reusable bottle. You're going to want to fill it up with Zamzam water.
Okay, all our prep is done, and now we've arrived at the absolute spiritual peak of the whole journey, performing the sacred rituals. This is the heart of your Umrah, and we're going to break it down into simple, easy-to-follow steps.
First up, entering the state of ihram. And it is so much more than just putting on 2 white sheets for men. Ihram is a state of being, a state of mind, of purity. You enter it by making your niyyah, your intention, and reciting the talbiyah. From that moment on, a lot of worldly distractions just fall away and your focus becomes purely on worship.
Once you reach the glorious Kaaba, it's time for tawaf. This is where you circle the Kaaba 7 times, counterclockwise. You'll start and end each circle lined up with the black stone. For the first 3 rounds, men are encouraged to walk a bit faster. It's a practice called ramal, but only if there's enough space. This is your time. It's for your personal prayers, for reflection. It's a deeply moving, one-on-one conversation with your Creator.
And hey, during Tawaf, there's this one especially powerful dua that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to recite in the stretch between the Yemeni corner and the black stone. It's such a beautiful, all-encompassing prayer that asks for all the good in this life, all the good in the next life, and for protection from the hellfire. After your tawaf, you perform the sa'i. That's the 7 laps of walking between the 2 small hills, Safa and Marwa. This ritual is all about remembering Hajar's desperate search for water for her infant son Ismail. You'll see a section marked by green lights. That's where men are encouraged to jog, just like she would have hurried through the lowest part of the valley. You do 7 laps in total, and your 7th one finishes at the hill of Marwa. And the final piece of your Umrah is actually pretty simple, but it's so full of meaning. Men will either shave their head, which is the preferred sunnah, or trim their hair, while women just snip a small piece from the end of their hair. It symbolizes a fresh start, a new beginning, and this action officially releases you from all the restrictions of ihram. And just like that, your Umrah is complete.
So, with the rites of Umrah done, let's talk about making the most of your time in the blessed cities of Makkah and Medina. A little bit of practical know-how here can make your whole experience so much smoother and let you focus on what really matters.
Believe it or not, your smartphone is going to be one of your best friends on this journey. The Nusuk app is an absolute must-have. You need it to book your prayer time in the Rada in Medina. Kareem is basically the local Uber, and it's fantastic for getting around. The Haramayan train app makes booking travel between the two cities a breeze. And of course, good old Google Maps is a lifesaver for finding a way around on foot.
Let's talk about food, because you gotta eat, right? The vibe is actually a little different in each city. In Mecca, you've got these huge, super convenient food courts right next to the Haram, filled with all the international chains you can think of. Perfect for a quick meal. Medina, on the other hand, has a more authentic local feel. You'll find tons of little stalls and cafes all around the Prophet's Mosque, serving incredible Middle Eastern and Indonesian dishes. It's just a wonderful atmosphere.
Okay, for our last section, I want to share some really important tips to help you sidestep some common mistakes. The whole point here is to keep your journey focused, spiritually deep, and free of any distractions or things that might take away from your worship.
So, let's just tackle this head on. What are some of the common slip-ups that even people with the best intentions can make during Umrah? Just being aware of these can really help keep your focus exactly where it needs to be.
Here's a big one, thinking that your dua is only accepted the very first time you lay eyes on the Kaaba. Yes, that moment is incredibly special, but the entire haram is a place of accepted prayer. Another thing is trying to squeeze in multiple umrahs on one trip. It's actually better from the sunnah to perform voluntary tawaf instead, which keeps you close to the Kaaba. Also, don't feel like you need a special, memorized prayer for each lap of tawaf. Just speak from your heart. And this is so important. While kissing the black stone is a blessing, harming other people by pushing and shoving to get there completely defeats the purpose.
So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. Beyond all the planning, the travel, and the rituals, how will this journey transform you? And Umrah is this incredible chance to shed your past and design a new future, to reconnect with God in the most personal way imaginable. It's so much more than a destination, it's a spiritual rebirth.